First of all, Noel Lee, welcome to Georgetown University. It's a pleasure
Thank
having you here. Noel is President, CEO of Monster Products. And Noel, what a wonderful history. I mean, you started out as a scientist, I understand, prior to Monster. Tell me a little bit about what you did before Monster.
Well, not really.
A little
scientist.
bit, come on.
You're blowing it up now.
No.
No, I was trained as an engineer at Cal Poly University. Worked at Lawrence Livermore Laboratories, just a fabulous research facility. But that was my background and my training as an engineer. A real passion for audio and listening and sound and music, and that's what got me started.
I know, and they call him the head monster, by the way. But so you started the company back in 78, 19 what?
1978.
Right, okay. And tell me a little bit how it began. What were the beginnings of Monster?
Well, that's in California. You have a rule: you have to start all companies in a garage. So that was my garage, and I really wanted to be in the audio business, and I started to fool around with things like cables to make sound better. So I'm a listener, serious listener. So anybody knows what an audiophile is.
Right.
Knows you got a problem. I am an audiophile. No, but you listen for little things, and so I started to fool around with cables because I didn't have enough money to buy other things. I had a pretty good amplifier speakers. I said, "Look at that little cable." I'm trying to squeeze my phase linear 400 watt amplifier through a straw. There's got to be a better way, and that's what propelled us.
And that's where it all started.
That's where it all started, in the garage.
Absolutely. And today you're a living legend. Better than a dead legend, but no, a living legend. And
better than a dead legend.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
Every day above ground is a good day.
I prefer that.
Well, but I mean, what you have done is just phenomenal, because we go back to so many products, from power conditioners to, I remember you've had so many wonderful products, audio. You also produced a number of CDs and DVDs as well with some of the artists, George Benson.
Monster Music,
Yeah, which is just phenomenal.
Look at, we have had interesting history, and so if you do the math, from 78 to current, that's 37 years.
That's incredible.
But I'm, really proud to have, first of all, be a minority owned. My parents came over from China, and so we had, a lot of those kind of issues that we had to overcome. But the biggest thing really is that I'm most proud of is that the name brand, besides the products, of course the products have to be great, over the last 37 years, our brand today is as relevant and as powerful as it was, and more so than when I started it. And you would think you go through an up, and then you go through it down, and go, oh man, we are so blessed right now that everybody recognizes our brand of Monster.
Well, we talk about from 78 moving forward. Here's 2016. So what do you see for today and for the future? Where are we going with technology?
Well, technology is a broad term, so in relevance to our field, which is consumer electronics.
Correct.
The technology propels our ability to communicate, our ability to use our mobile phones. We're enablers, Internet of Things, and you can go on and on. For us, it's really about better sounding audio, because Monster is making some awesome headphones and awesome speakers these days that it's a revolution. The smile comes to everybody. Right. They start dancing. So that's my pleasure, is really to bring that to young people who maybe didn't hear of us, because.
Well, you see the show every year. I mean, look at the Consumer Technology Association, CES, and Georgetown has been the last 3 years has been attending CES. And I will tell you that you're at the show, your displays, your presentations, phenomenal. But really, I think it's evolved from electronics like CTA, CEA. You're really a technology company. Electronics is one thing, but you're beyond electronics. You're technology.
Well, I'm a technologist.
And you're a futurist.
I can't help it. Those people who are technologists out there, you're just like, you read everything, you study everything,
right.
And you love it. You're a boring person otherwise, but you love the technology.
What do our students have to look forward to? What's happening today forward?
Well,
in technology, in electronics.
Well, it's I could say the normal things that all the students, they're pretty hip to. But you know, I think when you're looking at for me, the communications aspect of me communicating an idea to you, to millions of other people, to be able to do that in a meaningful way, you know, which could be through music or speech or texting, and it's so instantaneous. It's unbelievable. Had I started the company today, you know, watch out. But right now, I'm trying to catch up like everybody else. Utilize all of this wonderful technologies, you know, developed here at the university, and you know, the future Steve Jobs or Zuckerberg or Gates is. You know,
but I mean, you're hiring people. I mean, our students who are in technology management, who are really wanting to forge forward with a career or to continue to move forward in their career field. What do you see for them? I mean, and we talk about women as well. Look at the number of women. Finally, we're seeing more women getting involved in engineering, in technology, in, you know, IT.
Well, look at what used to happen over decades now happens over you know, just a few years or even a few months.
Right.
Okay, so there is no status quo. You know, it's always moving so fast, and the geniuses of technology are out there. I mean, you may not even know them. Okay, and they'll surprise you. Let's take Zuckerberg. Okay, he's on the front page of USA Today, and he's a kid. You know.
Well, yeah.
But it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful time to be a student at Georgetown, and you know, be part of this. It's a technological revolution. You had the Industrial Revolution. This is that times a million.
I mean, no question. I mean, look at here's one of your products right here, for example. Look, tell me about these headphones.
Well,
now, did you design this yourself or your staff, or how did this come to evolve? How did this actually come to be?
Well, you know, I. For better or worse, I got my hand in everything. So people say, you know, get him out of here. You know, he wants this and he wants that. But look, every product we make has my fingerprint on it, and that's because, you know, I have a feel for this stuff. I have a feel for the way it looks, the way it sounds, and the use factor and everything. And it's just kind of one of my gifts, I guess. And not everybody has that. So I do get involved in everything. But the end result is people look at, wow, listen to the way this thing sounds. Wow, look at the way it looks. This is I did this one for the UFC. It's called the Octagon headphone, as an example. But it's got that matte black look. But you know, we got gold, we got rose gold, we got lots of different finishes for different people. But the vision for a product, you know, starts with me. I've got a lot of great engineering people, great industrial design people. We're beating stuff back and forth, but you know, it's all across the table.
No, that's our student. Those are our students. So that's where I really want to get from you is, what do you have to say to our students that are really wanting to get into this field of technology? Or they're already into the field, they're going after their master's or graduate, they want to move their career forward. What advice can you give today?
Well, look, I think one undisputable piece of advice is to be disruptive. Okay, so our mantra is always lead, never follow. And if you're going to be disruptive, first of all, you have to get above the noise level. There's so many people doing so many things, and you know, you don't want the great thing you're doing to get lost in the shuffle.
True.
But you got to make a lot of noise. I mean, I don't want to talk about Trump, but you know, look at Trump. He's disruptive and he's killing it, right? But whatever you do, whatever the students do, is you know, don't be afraid to be outside the norm, to be outside the box, to be noisy, to be boisterous, you know, to make your invention known in just the most unique ways possible.
So it's obvious you see a very bright future in technology.
Yeah. I'd be an idiot to say there's no future in technology. Come on. No, there's no other field. I mean, you could look
We're doing some soul searching here, Noel, okay?
Well, but you could, not to bag on any other aspect of life and education, you know, all of which is great. I'm a history buff now too, by the way. But you know, technology is the most exciting thing. It's because it advances humanity, it advances things for the better, mostly, okay, for the better. And time is our most precious commodity. And when you can speed time up, okay, it's like I feel like I'm in a what do you call it, a time machine now that's been accelerated, okay? Because if you look at the way things were 10 years ago, the way things were 100 years ago, I mean, we're on fast forward.
Well, I mean, no, the thing is, it's interesting because very few people do what I've seen you do. Because as you know, what really drives technology is content. Without the content, what do we have to listen to or to see? Conversely, what can content providers do if they don't have the devices for go anywhere technology where you can watch and see and hear? But you've married the two because you're very much involved with not only the technology, but also the content.
Well,
And look at the people you've worked with, the stars. I mean,
well, look, we work with
name a few.
some of the greatest musicians in the world. I mean, I had
George
Stevie
Benson
Wonder's a good friend of mine. Got him on speed dial. Call him up, and we just talked to you the other day.
Yeah.
But like you name it, Fleetwood Mac, or we've got French Montana on the other side. So
Right.
It's a real blessing that music is really an international language, and to see how music as a communication goes all over the world. So for we do a lot with urban music, but urban music affects every white kid in suburbia, every rapper in Korea, in Japan, and it gets into the vernacular. So what I love to see is working with these young musicians, these influencers. And not everything's positive. Okay, a lot of things are really disruptive. They like to be disruptive, in sometimes negative ways, but just for us to be a part of that, to hang out with the coolest musicians in the world, the coolest athletes in the world. So I'm flying down to Miami to do a video with Antonio Brown. Okay, so that's like great. These young kids, 22 years old, and
and the way you're integrating it with the technology is phenomenal.
Well, there's a thing called marketing. Okay, we all have to know. You can have a technology, just like you can have a great hit song, and it could fail. Technologies fail all the time. Good technologies fail all the time. And some of the greatest companies in the world had products that failed. I mean, look at Apple, how many products failed before it became a success. So, I think failure is part of that too. The ability.
Well, we learn from failure. There's no question.
Well, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to fail. Okay, because if you're afraid to fail, that means you really haven't pushed the envelope. Okay, and I failed a lot. Not every product that I've got, of all the phenomenal products I got, were successes, but they were passion projects.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, Noel. Okay, I want to hear what you consider was the biggest failure. Of course, a failure can also become a success, but also one of the most successful products. So tell me about one that kind of.
Well, there's not just one product. It was a whole line
one that comes
of
to
products.
mind. One that comes to mind.
Okay, that's the biggest disaster. We ever had a product line called M Design.
Okay.
And when surround sound was just starting to come about, you had your TV, and you put your speakers all around, and it wasn't growing like it should. And I think that's because of the wife. Okay, the wife factor says, no, you're not going to put all these cables and this ugly speakers.
Right.
So I designed the most beautiful line of furniture.
I bought one.
You bought
I had
one,
the chair, yes.
Called M Design. Yeah, we had the
I have one.
we had the action couch.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah.
want action, you can
Yeah.
get it on
Had
the
the
couch.
subwoofer, you vibrate in the couch.
Oh, the subwoofer was called The Godfather.
Right.
Oh, man, it was fabulous.
I remember that.
Passion projects, they were the best products ever made, even today.
Yeah.
But we came out with it at a time when people were just like not interested in big speakers. Okay, and the retailers were falling by the wayside. So
It was cool. You had Italian leathers on that thing. I mean, it was unbelievable.
oh, we had Italian hand rub wood that thick, and
Yeah.
it was like unbelievable. But it was a great project at the wrong time. Okay, the business is going like that, and I'm saying, hey,
But today
we're going to change things. Well, it didn't quite happen that way, but if you look up on eBay, anybody's watching, look for M Design. You'll be the best stuff.
Well, what about the greatest success? One of the greatest success. Maybe even one that you didn't expect.
Well, you know, I gotta say, our most noted success, besides the original Monster cable, is Beats by Dr. Dre headphones. That we were Beats. Okay, we licensed the name, but I designed every product.
Oh, really?
Except for the most recent
Yeah,
ones.
okay.
I disavow that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but all the beatbox, all the product we did Heartbeats with Gaga, Diddy Beats with P Diddy, and you know,
yeah.
I had that kind of a relationship, and we just designed the most hellacious products that now has become part of fashion. It's become part of lifestyle, and to be able to really change the way people listen to music.
But you're
was
still doing it. I mean,
unbelievable.
look at this here. You're still doing it, right?
Oh,
Under a
we're
different
doing
brand.
it on
Yeah.
steroids because you know we parted ways with Beats.
Yeah.
So it's no longer Monster Beats, but our Monster products, the Monster headphones, the Monster Blaster, okay, that we introduced at South by. It's revolutionary. You can check that out.
Yeah. God. I can feel your passion. So let me ask you one last question. What advice could you give our students right now? Look in that camera, and please, what can you tell our students as far as the future and what they should really consider doing?
Well, you know, that's a broad,
question.
That's a
but
broad question.
True.
What
true.
should you consider?
No, but
well, I'm going to say the obvious things that you hear everybody. You know, follow your passion. You know, I'll give one advice that if you ever work for Monster, we have a theme called "I'm a Monster." What does that mean? I am a monster. I coined this phrase as being the best that you can be in whatever you do. Don't be afraid to take the chances, because I don't want to be in my deathbed, God forbid, okay, sitting there thinking to myself, I could have done, I would have done, and I should have done it. You don't want to be there, okay? You want to be there at a time when, look at, I stuck my neck out. You know, I took all the chances. I might have failed, okay, but I picked myself back up again. So when I'm sitting there and I'm about to go on to the next world, I'm going to say, you know what? I am happy with everything I did. I'm glad I took the chance. I'm glad I met the people like yourself. Okay, I'm glad I came to Georgetown, and I'm glad to address all the students at Georgetown, because if I can pass that on to say, okay, no regrets, I'd say that's the one main thing that I think about all the time. So everybody, you're all monsters, monsters.
Noel, thank you so
Okay,
much.
all right, Tom,
Pleasure.
thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.